We have some major breaking news. Over 20 staffers from Elon Musk's DOGE team just resigned, saying they refuse to dismantle critical programs. The 21 staffers wrote in a joint resignation letter saying, quote, "We swore to serve the American people and uphold our oath to the Constitution across presidential administrations. However, it has become clear that we can no longer honor those commitments." The employees also warned in this letter that many of those enlisted by Elon Musk to help him slash the size of the federal government were political ideologues who did not have the necessary skills or experience for the task ahead of them. Now, the Trump administration is already dismissing these resignations as no biggie, no problem, they're fine. But this is a huge deal. These are people who saw the inner workings of Elon Musk's DOGE and saying, yeah, this is not constitutional, we can't do this anymore. Things just continue to get worse for Donald Trump and his administration.
Not just China, but the rest of the world has a phrase for us. We are a third world country with a Gucci belt. Have a video go viral internationally? People from all over the world were commenting that. All over the world, they've been saying that about us.
So, some trolls hacked into the TV screens, the broadcasting screens, and apparently this government building that has to do with housing and urban development, and they played that. That's what they did. It says "Long live the king," and we can clearly see that it is Donald Trump doing some things to Elon Musk's two left feet. Some will say it's AI. I don't believe it's AI. If you do believe it's AI, I'm going to say that that's fake news. Okay, because that's 100% real if you ask me or anyone else. But this is what happens, right? When the White House social media pages put out a photo like this of Donald Trump with a crown. So two can play at this game. I hope to see this happen across all government buildings here in America for the foreseeable future. To those of you who do these types of things, you're American heroes. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of FAFO season, where MAGA Trump supporters keep on finding out that actions have consequences. You F around, you find out. So Donald Trump wants to get rid of FEMA, the federal agency that responds to natural disasters like fires, hurricanes, floods, etc. He's suggesting that states actually take care of that, yet ignoring that states only go to FEMA for aid when they feel overwhelmed. When they cannot handle the disasters by themselves, they go to FEMA, the federal aid agency, for help. Let's take a look.
I think we're going to recommend that FEMA go away. I'll also be signing an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally reforming and overhauling FEMA, or maybe getting rid of FEMA. I think, frankly, FEMA is not good.
Donald Trump just suggested that we shut down FEMA entirely, which would end U.S. disaster aid on the ground to states across the country. Trump claimed today, incorrectly, that FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is the federal agency that responds to disasters like hurricanes, floods, fires, etc., that it's not necessary. It's better for states to handle it themselves, and the federal government can give them some money, for example. Yeah, except that what FEMA literally does, what Trump doesn't realize, is FEMA only steps in when the states can't handle it. When the disaster is too big for the state's governor says, FEMA, please come help us. We don't have the ability to respond to this disaster. That's when FEMA gets involved. So if you take FEMA out of the question, if you delete FEMA, if you get rid of the agency, then literally you're taking aid that the governors need because they can't handle it. And Trump is saying they should handle it on their own anyway, because he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is the danger, folks, when you elect someone who doesn't know the issues. He was there for 4 years, and he still doesn't understand what FEMA does, and it's going to hurt disaster aid nationwide.
Donald Trump just delivered one of the greatest self-owns in presidential history. Now, during a press conference, Donald Trump was asked about the tariffs he's going to place on Canada and Mexico. And he went on his usual rant about unfair trade and they're taking advantage of us, but he forgot one key detail. Take a listen.
Every aspect that you could imagine they took advantage of. I look at some of these agreements, I'd read them at night, and I'd say, who would ever sign a thing like this?
Yeah, I'll tell you who would sign a thing like this. The current trade agreement that Canada, the United States, and Mexico operates under is the USMCA. that was signed by Donald Trump. In fact, he'll tell you he's the guy that negotiated this great trade deal, and he called it one of the greatest deals ever negotiated. But he is so focused on calling other people stupid or saying they don't know what they're doing or low IQ, whatever it is, that he forgets he was recently president, and a lot of the things that are happening now are his fault. Much like this, completely on brand for Donald Trump, but really an absolutely beautiful cell phone.
Donald Trump is not staging a coup. Donald Trump is not staging a coup, and he never was. Donald Trump is a distraction. Donald Trump is a loudmouthed charlatan. Donald Trump is where they want you to look so that you're not looking at the guy who's taking over the Treasury and dismantling the government from the inside out. Do we just stand and watch this happen? I'm so tired, and that's on purpose. I'm so tired, and I will not look away. They want us disengaged. They want us distracted. Don't let them take your attention away from this. The fate of our country literally depends on it. This is not a fucking joke anymore.
Donald Trump fired only 2 members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Take a look at this picture and let me know if you could guess which 2 he fired.
Alright guys, talk about how you handle business, because Donald Trump tried to bully the governor of Maine and she stood up to him. She went to the extent of actually telling him, let's meet each other in court. This is how you handle a bully. Many governor or other governors and other politicians in the United States of America, I think they should learn from her and actually stand up to any unconstitutional orders. Let's take a look.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine?
I'm here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it, because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Tesla pays $323 million a year in taxes to China for its Chinese plant. They pay $0 in United States taxes for their operations in the United States. But yet somehow, the single mother on food stamps is still the enemy.
So this report is actually crazy. You know, there are so many people who actually come to the United States through green card. And how most people actually get green card, it's actually by winning it. It's a lottery. So many countries or many people outside of the United States apply into the DV program, which is the green card lottery. And when you win and are selected, you get to go to the embassies in your respective countries to do some interviews, and then you pay for some charges, non-refundable money whether you go through and are accepted. Now, Donald Trump is actually bringing another way of getting citizenship. He's selling citizenship through the Trump Gold Card, and the price, $5 million. You heard it right. Let's take a look.
Trump just announced he's selling U.S. citizenship. This is highly unconstitutional. Watch this.
We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. Never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks, Howard? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
So the EB-5 program was really, you lend some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low-priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States of America instead?
Regarding all these farmers that are now crying about possibly losing their farms because they voted for Trump, this is why you absolutely should not feel bad for any of these farmers that voted for Trump. Now, the ones that didn't vote, yes, feel sorry for them, go support them, do whatever you need to do. But the ones that voted for Trump, do not feel sorry for them, and let me tell you why. I am a builder, and I've been building shit in Oklahoma City going on like 20 years now, and farmers are not stupid. If you have the ability to manage a farm and understand the weather, the climate, your machinery, the chemistry that goes into your crops, you are not a stupid person. You're just not. And especially when you come from generational farming, you have the ability to look ahead and predict what you need to survive. And so when you have two candidates where you have Kamala Harris on one side giving you a whole fucking list of shit that she's going to do for you and make your life better, and then you have Trump on the other side who can't even come out with a normal sounding sentence, and you still vote for that guy, and you are a farmer, you are either racist or sexist or both. And they're only crying now because now they are being treated exactly how they voted for other people to be treated. Got that? They are being treated how they voted for other minorities, people of color, everybody else, poor people, sick people. That's how they voted for other people to be treated. And now they're the ones being treated that way by losing their livelihood, their homes, their income, their farms. So do not feel sorry for them. This is exactly what they had coming. Quick follow-up as to why exactly would Trump be doing this to farmers anyways, and I'm guessing 99% chance it's because he wants to bankrupt farms so his corporate buddies can come in and do a land grab. Basically what you have been seeing the last few years, major companies buying up a bunch of rental houses and jacking up the price of rents, and it's all going to corporations. It's probably something similar to let these farms go to foreclosure and his corporate buddies be able to come in, swoop them up, and now you've got bigger companies involved in more of our day-to-day food.
I tried to tell y'all that Elon was going broke, and that's the reason why he was distancing himself from DOGE. And what a lot of people can't seem to comprehend is that Elon doesn't have any cash. Elon's value is based in the price of this stock. And as you can see, it ain't doing so well. Today alone, Elon's stock has dropped 8%, and that's carrying a trend if you didn't know. Because just in the past 5 days, his stock has dropped by 14%. And what people fail to realize is that the only reason why Elon is the richest man in the world is because the valuation of that stock price. So the more that stock goes down, the lower that man's worth is. And before you know it, he won't be the richest man on earth. As a matter of fact, he won't be rich at all. Stay tuned. Shit's gonna continue to get deep. You can't get away with fucking with the American people and thinking that you will go unscathed. We don't play that kind of shit here. You want to get away with that kind of stuff? Take your ass back to Africa.
Alright guys, thank you very much for watching this far. If you're new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing and drop me your opinion in the comment section below. So as we have seen in the videos that I've compiled for you guys, a lot is happening in the United States of America. MAGA is actually finding out the hard way that the man they cheered for and voted for is betraying them. Yeah, that's what you get for not listening to people who are actually warning you, voting against your own best interest. And the funny thing is that, guys, we have already had 4 years of Donald Trump. This is not a surprise to you. Don't actually sit here and tell us that you're being taken by surprise by these decisions, these executive orders that Trump is actually signing. No. You've already had 4 years of this man. You already knew what you were getting, but most of you did not want to vote for a woman in power because of patriarchy. And a lot of you did not want to vote for a black person to be put in the Oval Office. This shows that you voted for hate. And this time, not sympathy, actually. People are not showing you sympathy. A lot of people are enjoying MAGA tears. It's the FAFO season where those who left around with their votes at the ballot box last year in 2024 are actually in the find out phase. Many of them are crying. We have seen so many mass layoffs from federal jobs, with Trump actually trying to cut the budget and government spending. And all these not to bring you free healthcare. No. All these to give billionaires and corporations, these giant corporations, tax breaks. You F around, you find out. This is what you get when you vote for a billionaire. This is what you get when you vote for a shrewd businessman. Because he's running the country like a business, actually, trying to make a lot of profit for the elite and the extra rich. And in the end, the majority of MAGA voters who are at the bottom of the economic class are actually having to pay the price. You never listen to people when they were trying to warn you. What actually got me is him actually cutting aid to FEMA, which is the federal agency that deals with disaster management. This is an agency that actually helps states manage disasters like fire, wildfires, hurricanes, floods, and so on actually. This actually is a danger to so many people's lives. Can you even imagine what would happen if, some kind of disaster struck and there was not enough aid with the states because the orange man in charge just decided to ban and eliminate FEMA? This is very dangerous. What do you think about that? Let me know your opinion in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Don't forget to hit that like button. And as always, guys, see you on the next episode.